Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marwan Porter, managing partner of the Porter Law Firm, and I'm here with Prince's family. We were retained to investigate why this tragic incident happened, how it happened, and most importantly, how it could have been prevented. Specifically, we are going to be investigating the organization that put on this tryout and get an understanding of the policies and procedures or lack thereof that they had, which led to this incident. Obviously, something went terribly wrong, and we want to rectify it for this family and for the community at large. And this is a plea, to everybody out there in Jacksonville to stop the gun violence. You are ruining families, and even if your intended target, sometimes it goes a completely different direction, and you ruin and hurt families and devastate families. So, a plea to the community and to all the youngsters out there, to cut it out, and just put the guns down. But we also have to take responsibility for the things that we do as leaders and as adults and as organizations to make sure that we're putting in the proper policies and procedures. If you cut corners, things happen, and that's just the reality. So we're here to look into that. Have Prince's mother, here today, and some family and friends, and she's been contacted by the media, and so she wanted the opportunity, to address the media and answer any questions that you may have. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Chantal, Prince's mother. So I'm not sure if you guys have any questions or.
First of all, I just want to say my heart goes out to all of y'all. I can imagine what you must be going through. The sheriff, I don't know if you heard a press conference today, somebody asked him about the case, and he said they are making progress. Have y'all heard anything new lately?
No.
Chantal, what are some of your concerns, especially with the youth organization? What led up to this awful tragedy?
What am I concerned? Why are y'all not reaching out to parents? Why do parents not know who you are? Had I known, I doubt they would have gave my son a ride, because I would have picked him up myself.
So Prince went for a ride with the coach, and they never asked your permission?
Correct. They didn't even know who I was. My son just met them. From my knowledge, I have nothing, but I don't have my baby.
Do you think if it weren't for, their negligence, that Prince would still be here?
Yes. If you want, yes.
What's your message to them right now?
Get y'all stuff together. Because what if it's somebody else's child? I don't have my baby. Y'all can go home to y'all kids. You can hug your kids. You can watch your kids play sports. All my baby did was live football. We go to church. He kept kids out of school. I can't get up and take him to school. I can't go watch him play outside. I can't hug my baby. I can't even kiss my baby good night. Why? Because you couldn't make a phone call and ask me, was it okay?
From what I understand, not only did you guys not have permission for the car ride home, but you also didn't even know about the tryouts as well?
I knew about a tryout. I'm not going to say I didn't, because he said, Mama, it's a 7-on-7 tryout tomorrow. I never knew the team, never knew the league. I just found the name of the team out like 3 days ago. The league, rather.
Never signed any waivers or releases. I mean, there's a whole litany of things that organizations should do prior, to allowing somebody to participate. And even, the park where it occurred. Did this organization have the proper permits? Did they have insurance? Did they have all the things that, they would need to have in order to throw a function like this at a park. You know, you can't just show up somewhere and put on, you know, an event. You know, you have to take the proper procedures, and maybe they did, maybe they did not. But, you know, we're going to find that out, because had all those things occurred, we wouldn't be here right now.
And legally, and you started to answer right there,
Yep.
but legally, what's next for you guys to pursue this?
So, you know, I'm always one, I don't, you know, cast aspersions and throw rocks. I go and I investigate. And so, you know, we want to dot our I's and cross our T's and find out what happened. And if all of the proper steps were not taken, you know, which if I had to take a wild guess, they were not, you know, we are going to pursue litigation against the organization and anyone else who was involved. You know, unfortunately, when you hit someone in the pocket, it makes them think twice about what they're doing and make sure that they are following the necessary steps that they need to follow to protect, you know, the community and our children.
What have you found out about this organization? Because just looking online, I didn't see anything about a Jacksonville footprint with them. I saw something out of maybe Tampa that had a similar name. Is that them? I mean, who's even behind it?
So, I mean, the name that we found thus far is the Ambitious Kings and Queens, I think Lions, I believe. The Ambitious Kings and Queens Lions Youth Organization. You know, this name was on the flyer that was sent out to these kids that we were able to get our hands on. I'm not sure if this is the exact organization. We're looking into it, but it is an active Jacksonville organization. So we're going to be looking into it, and we're going to see what they're about and who they are. And if this is the wrong one, then, you know, we'll advise as well. But on the flyer was this name.
And how was the flyer distributed to the children?
Chantal?
We never got a
I
flyer.
never got a flyer. It was
One-
text to me.
Another kid in the community got it.
Who went to the
Went to the
tryouts.
trials. He had it on his phone and sent and brought it to us.
He was like, this is the team we was playing for. Because he wanted me to know what they tried out for.
And did the press release say you weren't aware he was going to the tryout that day?
I'm not sure.
She was
He
aware.
was aware that it was a 7-for-7. We knew that.
He said it was a 7-on-7 tryout. I would clear that part. He said he was going on 7-on-7 tryouts. That's what he told us.
Is that like seven versus
Seven, yes.
football team?
Did he know anyone else that was participating?
It was him and his friends in the neighborhood.
They were in the car with him.
My thing is this, y'all are not contacting parents. Y'all not following protocol. My son has played for another team before, and those people would not take him home without contacting me and asking, was it okay?
And were they going straight home, or did they take a different route? Do we know?
We wasn't there. My son didn't get to come home, and he can never come home again because he rode in the car with somebody. So y'all imagine Christmases and birthdays, New Year's, holidays. I don't get that. And I'll never have it again. I should not have to go off the memories of my 13-year-old.
Based on your investigation so far, do you think this coach was targeted?
You know, they shot up a vehicle, you know, and so, you know, that doesn't randomly happen. Now, could it have been a mistaken identity? Yes, you know, but, you know what they say, you know, walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck, you know. I mean, it seems like, you know, something went wrong, and unfortunately, you know, a 13-year-old, you know, innocent child was the victim, you know, of it. And so too, you know, the shooters out there, you know, this is what you caused. you know, and you have to understand that your conduct and your actions, you know, could cause devastation that may not have been, you know, intended. And so, you know, think twice, you know, in the future, because I'm sure even you didn't mean for this to happen, but this is the result, you know, of that type of conduct and behavior. So I would ask that, you know, in the future, you think twice. So, you know, we don't know, you know, the criminal investigation is ongoing, and so, you know, until that is complete, they don't give up any information, so we don't have any information regarding the criminal part of it. You know, we're just focusing on what happened prior to that led up to it.
That day, did you discuss maybe like if he went, what his arrangements would be to come home, what his ride home situation would look like?
He will walk home with his group of friends. They walked together because it wasn't that far.
Or he would have called me.
He would. That child is gonna call. He gonna call. He gonna text. He gonna video call. You gonna know where he at. So the one day y'all want him in y'all vehicle, then if it's you as an adult didn't even call. Yeah, he can't make a phone call again. He can't stand here and tell you his story. He can't tell you. Nobody his side.
Do you feel that the driver knowingly endangered your son?
I don't know that driver. I can't tell you that. But I know y'all didn't have permission for my baby to be in that car.
Have you all been able to talk to him? The group?
Talk to who?
The
Driver.
driver.
No,
He's still in the hospital.
I can't even tell you how he looked.
Have you guys heard anything from the organization at all?
I'm sorry.
The guy that's supposed to be the president, he came to the house and said, "I'm sorry," and left. That was it. It wasn't like, I just felt like it was fake. It wasn't, oh man, something that if you lost your child, you'll want to really talk or say something. He said, "I'm sorry." He stood there at the head of the driveway and then left.
He didn't come in your house?
No,
Do you know how long the organization has been around for?
never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Do you guys have a copy of the actual flyer that was being given out?
We'll send it to you.
Okay.
Are there hiring practices, something you're gonna be looking at as well?
All of it. Yep, all of it. You know, did they have the proper, you know, insurances? Did they have procedures and protocols in place? Who are these individuals? How long have they been in existence? Are they part of a larger, you know, organization? Are they part of a league? We're gonna look into all of it and start putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
Do you know how many kids were there that night?
No.
At the actual tryout, no.
I think at the end of the day, it comes back to the fact that you lost your son. What is it, how do you want your son to be remembered?
For who he was. My baby, he was a good kid. And he tried to keep everybody happy and everybody out of trouble.
Oh, so
They took that from me.
he made everybody get up.
Everybody, come on, we all going to church
Going to
together.
church. He made sure his friends were in the house. He has one friend that seemed like he ran away every other day. And he said, "Pops, we're going outside. Come stand to the head of the driveway." Because he ran away again. I'm like, "But you're not his daddy." I know he had. I know he had. He'd go take him and take him back home. Or he'd sit on his porch and talk to me on video call and say, "Hey, you know where I'm at. Come get me in about 5 minutes." He in there. The police done got him again. Or he'd tell his friends, "If you don't go to church with me today, you can't talk to me all week. You can't come to my house and eat." Because all the kids come to my house and follow him and eat in my house every night. If he was to come to my house right now, they're sitting outside waiting on me to cook.
Just know they those you can't get back. What if it was y'all child, y'all sibling, even you? You would want whoever did it to tell you who did it.
Worked 2 jobs. That man made sure the house was clean when we got home for it. He got older siblings. He used to sit and wait till both of us get in the house and say, all right, I'm going to sleep. You need anything? When he cut grass in the neighborhood, him and his friends, he made sure his mama had a cold Pepsi every night when she got home from work. Every night. We got this little game we used to call Big Bank, Take Little Bank. I remember I used to another times. It's take your cash out your pocket. Whoever got the most cash takes your money. And this happened one night. They made $102 cutting grass. And I luckily just came in the house. I had $20. He said, "Oh, I got you tonight. Big bank, take little bank." He slammed the money on the table. I was like, "Oh man, I ain't got number $20. Thank you, appreciate it." And it was just like, it was just juvenile. We did that almost every weekend, so he can strive to won't beat me. He finally got me one time. Coolest kid you ever meet, man. Coolest. Respectable.
They took something away you can never get back. I have to live off memories of him. And I shouldn't have to. It's not fair. Is it not fair at all?
And just to be clear, you feel the negligence here was the fact that there was no type of effort made to reach out to you before he was put in that car?
Even prior to that, you know, I mean,
Who called me? What was the team?
What was the lead?
I just found this out.
What was the application that you fill out as a parent? Where's the money you're supposed to pay for the equipment, or you sit down and learn about the team? We don't know that.
yeah, what are the releases? You know, as a parent, you know, you just don't drop a kid off at a park and let them play football. You know, there are many documents that you have to sign,
Right.
waivers, etc. So, you know, it started bad and ended worse.
Yeah, we was in Home Depot. This gentleman, I don't even know him. He's in the neighborhood. He grabbed me in the middle of the store and was like, "Your son was raising money for that football team."
How?
How? I don't know about that.
Just a stranger walked up to us and said this.
How is he raising?
That
Asking for
the
donations?
kids were picking up donations for this same league.
So, you know, again, and you see what type of person, you know, Prince was: ambitious, responsible, you know, a go-getter, and so that doesn't surprise me. You know, he trying to do something positive, you know, for himself and his friends and his community, raising money, doing everything that he needs to do, but without, you know, the proper guidance, you know, it ends in tragedy.
So you feel the negligence started before your son even showed up that day?
Yep.
You don't know nothing about it. I just want everybody to remember as him, man, he amazing. If you go in our neighborhood, all the older elderly people, he saw them carrying groceries, outside the yard, cleaning the yard, he'll go take over. Don't worry about it, I got it. I don't want nothing from you. I don't need nothing. I'm okay. Thank you. You have a good day. What 13 got a mind like that? My mom was like that at 13.
What did football mean to him?
Everything.
Everything.
Because he said, "I'm going to grow up and I'm going to be a wide receiver for Kansas City Chiefs, Mama, so you don't have to work no more. Because y'all took good care of us." He told Chris, "Make sure you come to my draft pick because I'm going to make it for y'all." He never will have that chance.
Ran drills in the yard every day. Cones, everything. He go in the house, get his helmet, his old jersey from his old team, pads and all, in the yard. Rain and all.
Even if he played by himself, he was playing with that football.
I don't got no dirt in my front yard. I mean grass, it's nothing but dirt. Every day, cleats.
But he must have been excited to be potentially being on a team and to have them not, you know, from what you've been able to see so far, live up to their end of the bargain must be just.
Devastating.
For our last conversation, which I don't want to say because it'd be inappropriate, for us to have that last conversation, it hurts. hurts.
What was the last conversation? Was he talking about the team?
No,
Yeah, it was a daddy-son
yeah,
conversation.
The last conversation I had.
All I want is just justice for my
Yeah,
son.
we need that.
That's it. Just give me justice for my baby. Try to give me a little peace of mind, because I'll never have peace because he's not with me. Give me that much. Somebody knows something, why not say it? That's all I want.
Thank you. We'll keep you posted, you know, as we get additional information. All right, thank you.
Thanks.